Lagos is the economic capital of Nigeria and the fifth largest economy in Africa. Since it became a colony in 1861, its prosperity has been growing impressively. The state is home to one of the busiest seaports in Africa and the most frequently used international airport in Nigeria. In 1999, former governor of the state, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, laid the foundation of the financial autonomy of the state. Between then and now, the state has seen tremendous improvement in its internally generated revenue and gross domestic products. Today, Lagos has become a model for economic prosperity. Its gross domestic product stands at $131 billion. This makes Lagos' economy bigger than that of Ghana, Ethiopia, Kenya, Ivory Coast, Benin Republic, Guinea, and many others. To continue its tradition of excellence, Governor Akinwumi Ambode established the Office of Overseas Affairs and Investment the day he was sworn in 2015.
You know, Nigeria has actually traded poorly in terms of the index of doing business in the world. I also believe that there should be more or less like a stop center where you are able to enter into Lagos and then you want to do business within 7 days. You are actually running your business here. And that's why, I decided I was going to set up this Office of Overseas Affairs and Investment. And for whatever it's worth, I've been able to improve on the ease of doing business generally in Lagos. Beyond the fact that we've provided the environment, yes, we've played on a high score in terms of security. And then you also make Lagos investment friendly. But that office itself has been able to harness the potentials of what you see as Lagos as an investment hub.
Today, I'm out to find out how much has been achieved in attracting foreign investment to Lagos. My first port of call was the Office of the Overseas Affairs and Investment, and Professor Ademola Abbas is my guest.
We're happy to say that we've put policies in place that from the moment you submit a proposal to our office, within 4 weeks, the proposal will do all the runs it needs to do and you get a concrete decision whether we are going to go forward with it or not. Not several months anymore, not several years. That is extremely important,
Now, we would like to know how many investors your office has been able to move to the state.
In terms of telling you whether they are 10, 20 or 1 million, it's extremely difficult. Okay. It's difficult because investments come into the state on daily basis. There is no single day we don't have investment proposals come to our desk. That's number one. And those investment proposals go through different gestation periods. So it's extremely difficult to calibrate at a point in time how many you've been able to convert or not. That is the first thing. And the second point is that we have a program which one of what is also aired in TVC, in your television station, Lagos Global on the Air, for instance, which has been quite well received by the public. We have a program to be able to market our office, to market Lagos State, to market investment. Now, we wouldn't know how many investors come to Lagos without coming through us, who are just private investors who invest in Lagos as a result of the advocacy we've been doing. Another thing is that the government itself we have got better in providing facilities and infrastructure for people, like as I said earlier, in terms of lighting, security and this and that. Those items, those infrastructure in themselves have been encouraging investors to come into the country, that you can do business here. We have a strong rule of law in Lagos State without any shred of doubt. So you won't be able to calibrate how many investors have come as a result of all those developments. So in a nutshell, it's extremely difficult to calibrate in specific terms how many investments have come to Lagos. But what I will say, though, is that we have received in the last 16 months more investments in Lagos State than Lagos did in the last 10 years. And I think that can sort of nicely put a kind of a picture, a semblance of picture on your question.
One of the pet projects of Lagos State in attracting foreign investment is the Lekki Free Trade Zone. It was envisioned by the visionary Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he was the governor of the state. It was established in 2004 to serve as a model city within a city. The zone stretches across 16,500 hectares of land. It is 20 times the size of Victoria Island. Governor Ambode is optimistic about the project and has spoken about it many times.
I can say that there are more things that have happened in Lekki Free Trade Zone than anywhere else in the city.
Upon completion, it is projected that the Lekki Free Trade Zone will create at least 2 million new jobs across different sectors. So, I visited the Lekki Investment Worldwide Limited to review the extent of work done at the zone. Recently, Governor Akinwumi Ambode approved the payment of 740 million naira as compensation to families displaced by the project. So, I spoke with the man in charge of community relations.
The 740 million actually is for some communities. I could tell you, for example, the Enyosa community, which the 740 million are used to pay the compensation, is just some part of that axis. There are more communities that are just being worked on, that they are, as at the moment, enumeration is going on, and there will be compensation for that. And that's the major work we're doing, as well as to make sure people do enumeration, people are talked to, people agree to say, yes, we are ready to talk to Lekki Worldwide, because all the time I don't want to be mentioning the government. The government has actually set up a company, Lekki Worldwide, to deal with all of that, to do all of those work. If we're talking about the state, actually we're talking about you and me in this matter. So we are dealing with that. For foreign investors, for investors all over, they're dealing with us, and we could take up all the issues to the state and make sure we facilitate it.
The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives supervises the entire Lekki Free Trade Zone.
The place is very peaceful now because we continue to engage them. Just yesterday I was in a meeting with one of the zones. They have one thing or the other that they want the government to do, and we have been doing them. Some of them say they want their youth employed. So we listen to them. We collect the CV of those that are eligible, and we engage the investors to fix them up. So it's a continuous one, but because of the engagement, the continuous engagement that we do, there is peace there. The people are happy because they know that we listen to their yearnings, and anytime that they call on us, our doors are open.
Hello. Oh, Dr. Shodade, nice meeting you. Thank you for having us in your office. Now that the zone is almost ready for business, I headed to the office of the Managing Director of the Lekki Investment Worldwide to get answers to many questions. I met Dr. Tunde Shodade. He holds a PhD in Public Infrastructure Development. How big is the Lekki Free Trade Zone we're talking about?
Well, Lekki Free Trade Zone is 16,500 hectares.
That is huge.
Yes, it is huge. And by comparison, you can take a look at Victoria Island, which is just over 800 hectares. So you're looking at a land space of about 20 times the size of Victoria Island as you know it today.
Now, why the Lekki Free Trade Zone project in the first place?
Well, the Lekki Free Trade Zone project was set up as a result of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision. The project was conceived as a means to diversify the industrial base of Lagos as a first instance, to enhance the economy of Lagos and of course by extension Nigeria, to aid technology transfer, because with all the kind of projects that are going on in the zone, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for Nigerian workers to learn new technologies and learn new things, and of course to enhance the employment prospects of Lagos State.
So why choose Lekki for instance? Why not other places?
Well, if you take a look at Lagos, most of the other parts of Lagos are congested right now as we speak. And Lekki offers the space. I mean, where in Lagos are you going to find the kind of space I just described to you? Also, it's also on a corridor that is vastly underdeveloped. So the area is also endowed with some natural advantages, such as the ability to have a deep sea port there, which of course is which of course is very, very important if you're going to have a successful free trade zone.
And what are the features of Lekki Free Trade Zone?
Well, when you talk about features, there are different types of features. You have the economic features, and I think those are the most important features that we want to talk about. We have a legislative exemption through the NEPSA Act that exempts industrialists and tenants within the zone from federal taxes, custom duties, and so many other fiscal and economic advantages are bestowed upon people that are in there. Also, you can repatriate capital. So a foreign investor that comes into the zone is able to repatriate his capital freely without a lot of process bottlenecks. There's a remittance of profits and dividends that can be earned 100% by foreign investors. Import and export license are not necessary in the zone. Foreign managers and qualified personnel in the zone may be employed by companies operating within the zone. So you can see that a lot of bureaucracy is cut out by the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Act. And so far, we've been able to stay ahead of the curve as regards providing this infrastructure that we use to attract investment.
That is huge. Now, I think there is a lot you still have to tell me. Why don't we go to Lekki Free Trade Zone and see things for ourselves?
That's good.
Thank you. Okay, join us at the Lekki Free Trade Zone. We'll be right back. The estimated journey time from Victoria Island, where its office is located, and the Lekki Free Trade Zone is about 2 hours. This is the receiving center. There are about 5 sections here: NEPCA, Operation, Marketing, Custom, and Immigration.
This is the temporary office. I say temporary because another much more functional office is being built of the Lekki Free Zone Development Corporation, which is the corporation, the joint venture that emerged from the agreement between Lekki Worldwide Investment Limited, which is representing Lagos State, and China Africa Lekki Investments Limited, which is a conglomerate of Chinese companies.
And we have immigration, we have customs.
Yes, because all of these departments have offices here. So for any investor that wants to come in here, it's very, very easy for them to come and get their legal work sorted out. NEPSA, that's the regulatory authority, the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority, Customs, Immigration. So you can see that we work hand in hand with the federal government. And this actually helps to facilitate what we call a one-stop shop that makes people come in here and they can get their work done easily.
We are driving into the zone now. I am told that Lekki Free Trade Zone is divided into 4 quadrants. The southeast of the zone accommodates oil and gas, methanol, and tank farm. This is where the Dangote refinery, petrochemical plants, and a fertilizer plant are situated. Nearby is the land allocated for the deep sea port along the Atlantic with a total area of 831 hectares. The southwest quadrant is divided into 2 functional areas. One is an ecological industrial park in the south and a new township area in the north. As we drive into the zone, I saw the road infrastructure already constructed here. I'm told so far, more than 22 kilometers of road has been laid. I'm told more than 13 factories have already begun operations at the southwest wing already. But how do they get power supply? We headed straight to the transitional power plants built to meet the energy needs of the southwest quadrants.
Well, this is the power plant. Currently, it serves in fact, all of the power needs of the southwest quadrant of the zone. As you know, we already have about 13 fully functional industries and factories working here. This is currently a 12 megawatt power plant. We have plans to upscale it to about 18 megawatts, and it is one of at least 4 power plants that I know will be servicing the entire area. You know that the southeast zone has the Dangote refineries, at which a much bigger power plant is being planned by the investor there.
Okay, you have a separate power plant there?
Yes, we have a separate power plant there, and almost every quadrant is going to have its own independent power producer. Most of the power plants are built in a scalable way so that they can add on more capacity as the population of the zone increases. Yes, we have people managing it here. Yes. You can go in at the back. Usually access is restricted. So we can just take a look at what they have here and then go on. And so when people talk about infrastructure development, when you look at this and you look at the hundreds of kilometers of roads, at least you've seen it now, the drainage, the water produced, everything is on ground. And then we keep expanding our capacity in such a way that at least we're prudently managing the little funds that's available.
After a tour of the power plant, I asked to see some of the factories in the zone. We visited a tailoring factory that opened for business a few months ago. The management of the company was kind enough to let us film their operation. They told me 90% of these tailors are indigenes of the Lekki Ekpe. I engaged some of them.
Do you live here?
Yes.
You live in this environment? Where
Yes.
exactly?
Akodo, Ibeju Lekki.
Okay. How do you get to know about this job? Who tell you say something like this will go on?
I see the, like, let me say, there's nobody, but I hear about this complaint. That is why I came here. But with the way I entered this place, then, very fantastic.
Are they paying you? Are they the one that trained you?
No, but yes, there's one that trained me a little, but I know a little because I'm a tailor. But this thing, this cap, I didn't do it before. But when I entered this complaint, then train me how to do it, how to sew it.
So now that the Lekki Free Trade Zone is here, you believe that now you have better work?
Yes, I have better work and better knowledge and so many experience in this complaint. That is it.
Mo gbọ́ nípa ibi báyìí ni mo fi wá sí ibi báyìí.
Báwo ló ṣe gbà yín?
Wọ́n gba wa sí tailor. Bàtà dé ibi báyìí wọ́n interview wa pé bóyá nǹkan téèyàn mọ̀ ṣe. Àǹfààní oríṣiríṣi pọ̀ tí eléyìí tá ti rí tí mo ti rí nígbà tí mo dé ibi báyìí because tí wọ́n bá dé ibi báyìí wọ́n máa ní more knowledge bóyá bí láti rán fìlà jẹ sí àwọn nǹkan oríṣiríṣi tí wọ́n máa ṣe. Ohun mìíràn náà wá láti ìlú bòmíì náà láti wá láti ẹ̀ tó ó jagan.
Briefly after leaving the clothing factory, Dr. Shodade led us to the steel factory. This factory started operations about 7 months ago.
First of all, we have a base agreement with our development partners, the master developers. For every naira or dollar that we bring in as counterpart funding, they bring 3. So the 1.6 billion that you're talking about was actually quadrupled. And now you can see where we are right now, right? Used to be thick forest, marsh land, almost impossible, right? You can't even walk there, right? But you can see the infrastructure that we've seen here. We have tens of kilometers of roads that have been built. We have so much power is being provided. We have water for production. We have security. So there's a lot of work that is going on here that you need very, very skillful financial managers to be able to shepherd the whole thing. And I'm very, very happy that we have that in our government.
Okay, Nigeria
Well, you will see when we get back to the main office there. There's a one-stop shop, right, that has a lot of federal agencies represented there. So ideally, anybody that wants to do business in Lagos State has the benefit of the Lagos Global Office, the Lagos Overseas Office, right? That is a separate department that was set up by Governor Ambode's government to ease business flow in Lagos generally, right? We in the Lekki Worldwide Investments Limited, we work very, very closely with them because they act more or less as a one-stop shop. So if you want to come and you want to do business in Lagos State, all you really need to do is just get to Lagos Global. Everything you need to do is there. And it's all mirrored here at the Lekki Free Trade Zone. You saw at the reception there, you saw the immigration, you saw the customs. Everybody is here. Federal Inland Revenue, they're all here. So there's really no need to go from pillar to post, all because you want to do business. So I know we have a very, very good working relationship with the federal agencies, and the Lagos State agencies themselves are quite attuned to the fact that the game has changed. So there's really no real problem where you flag.
Can you show us any other facility?
Yes, there's a standard factory down the road where the trucks are being assembled. I think it would be interesting for us to go there. There's Asia Tiger factory. There are all kinds of factories here.
Okay. Let's go.
It's been a busy, hot day.
Last year, the federal government withdrew its equity and I want to know, I'm talking about the 20%, and that's $180 million.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
I want to know what impact does this have on the Lekki zone?
Well, it hasn't had much of an impact because almost immediately the federal government made that announcement. We had other existing shareholders offering to increase their own holding, and part of the reason the government gave was that the federal government, that is, they didn't want to appear to be partial towards one. There are so many free zones in Nigeria. So if they are seen to be investing in one and not the others, then it brings up some uncomfortable questions. So I could understand part of why they did that.
In any way affect the project?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't affected the project in any way. The program.
The program is
it hasn't affected the program in any way.
Okay, now let's talk about the airports, the
Yes.
Lekki airports. What about it?
Well, the one thing I have to explain to you is that the time it takes between when a decision is taken to embark on a capital project, right, to the time they actually start to turn the soil on that project, it takes months because a lot of work has to be done. A lot of surveys have to be done. Apart from the perimeter survey, which all of us know about, there's hydrographic surveys, there are all kinds of surveys to be done. So as far as I know, the Lekki International Airport is going through that process, right, of analysis and surveys. The last I heard about it, there are actually 2 investors that we have lined up. And I think at the end of the day, we would have to pick the better proposal of the 2. Or maybe find a way of splitting. But as you said, or as we're talking in the car, we talked about the seaport as well, which is about to commence soil breaking. These are 2 very, very key facilities that, 1, attract investors to the zone, and 2, will also add to the GDP of the state. So, certainly it will reduce all the problems that we have. You know that the sea is actually much deeper at this end. So we expect that when the seaport is completed, much bigger ships are going to be able to berth here. which means that there's going to be less traffic and less cargo strangleholds to deal with.
Now, we would like to know how the Lekki Free Trade Zone would transform the economy of Lagos, considering the impact.
I'm sure you don't want to know that.
Please, we'd like to
You've
know.
seen it. You see, I told you when we talked earlier on in the morning that this program compares with what you have on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Remember that? When you have such a massive industrial complex which is being built just for industry and industrial growth, there's absolutely no way. We're on another site. This is a plant where trucks, you can see them, are being assembled, right? So they have plans, right, to upscale their production over time. You can imagine what that will do to all the mechanics around, to all the panel beaters, the welders. You understand what I'm saying? The airport, the seaport, the rail line. The contribution that this is going to make to Lagos and Nigeria is phenomenal.
The Lekki Free Trade Zone will be a major catalyst for development when it becomes optimally operational. Lagos is on the road to becoming a major economic hub, not just in West Africa, but the entire African continent. It's been a long day. We've been together since morning, and we really appreciate you for being on Inside Lagos.
Yes.
Well, let's wrap it up here. We appreciate you. We appreciate your team. And then for our viewers, many thanks for being there. I'm Adebaja. Salam Adeni. Many thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.